Good morning, everybody. Toast to you and all you do. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hello. Hopefully you can see me. I tested it. I feel like... Here we go. Okay, so I am out here today in the garden again, and I am with my lamb's ear. Lamb's ear, look at it, attracting a lot of honeybees right now, so let's be careful. Lamb's ear is really, really easy to grow. It spreads really well. I'll show you here in a minute. I've got a bunch popping up back here. I've had it pop up in other places in the garden. It goes to seed. Oh, the wind is picking up. It goes to seed, and it's blowing away my pots. I just got peppers. I had to buy peppers. I had so much space in my garden left over that I needed to go buy more plants, and I didn't plant enough seeds this year. But anyways, so it starts to get these really pretty purple flowers, and it is really soft and fuzzy. Like, it's a great textile plant. And again, it grows here in Colorado in zone 4, and in Greeley where I live, it gets really, really dry. So February is freezing. I'm talking like below 0 and no moisture. So this grows very well here. It does a great job, and it comes back every year. It is great at attracting bees and hummingbirds and butterflies, and it also has been used in medicine for a really long time. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we collect it. I have out my herbal grimoire, which, as you can see, I have used some construction paper and tape, and instead of making a table of contents or anything, I just labeled all of the plants that are in this book. I also have like chemicals for preserving stuff. So this is like my go-to herbal book. Anyways, so the lamb's ear, it grows very, very quickly. This is already going to flower and is very overgrown. I will bring you over here and kind of show you a little bit. In the middle, you can see it's starting to get some brown leaves down here. They're not getting enough sun. So we'll go through and we'll pick all of these off. We'll also crop a bunch for, let's see, in my second spot, we'll crop a bunch for drying. We use it in our dream pillows, and because it helps to relieve stress and calm your nervous system. So to prune it, couple tips. One, if you let all of these seed pods go, let's see, can you see my hand? There you go. If you let all of these little seed pods go all the way to seed, they get very, very pokey, like sharp pokey. So you want to crop it while it still has flowers on it and before it starts to get pokey. Otherwise, it's unpleasant when it's dry. The leaves, however, stay really soft and fuzzy. Too bad you can't feel it. So I'm just going to go down here. I'm going to crop this whole thing off. And I just took the whole stem, everything off. And then I have a paper bag ready to go. 90% of my herbs I dry in paper bags, just like this. Once the bag is full, not full, you don't want it to be like packed full because you still want it to get good airflow. But then I just put them in a cool, dark place, and they dry very easily. Now, I don't want to take all of this because I do want it to go to seed. I'm enjoying it spreading and kind of filling in this space over here at the edge of my garden. It does spread like a weed. So if you don't want it to spread like that, make sure that you come out and clip all of these stalks before they start dropping seeds. Now, I'm just not taking the stalks. Oh, I wish I had gloves on. There's a thistle in here. Unpleasant. Let's see if we can do it with the scissors. Come on, thistle. Nope, I just ripped it. So we've got a bunch of thistle growing in the garden. So I don't want to just clip the stalks. I want to also come back here. We want to pull out the dead leaves and the grass that's growing in here. That'll just grow in my trash pile. And I'll also clip back some of these little stalks that are coming up that are just leaf stalks, just to kind of thin it out a little bit, let it get more sun at the bottom, and to help it grow back nice and strong. So when I clip them, like we talked about with the sage in the other video, this one I do take the time to make sure to clip it right. But as you can see, there's another stalk. Let's see, can you see my hands? Okay, there's another stalk coming out right here. And so that's where they will get new stems. So I cut it just right here by the next one because it already has 2 little stems coming up. So then that'll turn into 2 buds. And it will continue to thrive. We'll leave that one. That one's got some bugs on it, so we'll leave it. Just reach in here and grab some more leaves. Take out the ones that are already dried. I don't want the grass either. It's important to, when you're drying them in the bag like this, it's important to get all of your weeds out. The woodbine is notorious. I find it often, but it's better if you get it out. And then just dust off your leaves so that they don't have a bunch of dirt on them. If they're really dirty, I will wash them and then let them dry in the sun for a couple hours. And then grass. And then put them in the bag so that they don't get mildew, and then they're clean. Because you can't really clean the dried herbs. So I'm just pulling out these dead leaves and the grass that doesn't belong in here, giving her some love. And then I lost my page because the wind came up. That's why I like these little tabs. Makes it pretty easy most of the time. Look, because I'm talking about it. I can't find what it is. Okay, so lamb's ear. It is technically a flowering mint. It does have square stems if you feel past the fuzziness. It is originally from Turkey, so it does prefer full sun. It will tolerate some shade, but it really does want to be in the sun. So if you have that sunny place in your garden, it's great. Like I said, it attracts hummingbirds and bees and all kinds of pollinators. Oh, that one's a really thick stem. And you can actually see, let's see, can you see that? How square it is? Isn't that cool? So anything that's square is in the mint family. So that's funny. I'll just add this to the list of mints. My sisters make fun of me because they say I have a problem with mint. And I just keep buying mints. And I guess the problem is that they're also good for you. It's hard not to buy them. All right, so cutting this stem back, it didn't have any little leaves at the bottom, so I went ahead and cut it all the way back to the ground. Let's see, this one's already starting to brown. You can see the seeds, or the flowers are starting to turn brown. So soon this is going to start to get really pokey and hard. And so we're just going to leave this one. We'll let that one self-seed. It'll help it grow strong, be happy. And get all these dead leaves back. Okay, so you can use it to make dyes. The leaves make like a yellow, greenish, yellow beigeish dye kind of. And the flowers, if you collect all the flowers, which I have to be honest, would be really hard to do. Like that would be such a tedious task because they're tiny. But if you collected just the flowers, it would make a mauve colored dye. So I bet it's really pretty. Maybe it's really worth it. And it can also be eaten. If you're going to eat it, you eat these little leaves at the top. They're going to be the most delicious. I don't know what it tastes like. Should we taste it? Oh, it's like furry. That's really weird. I don't enjoy that texture in my mouth. It is like really fuzzy. Anyways, it doesn't taste like anything. Let's see. It's got like a, that's interesting. It's like a light mint flavor, and it does have that menthol kind of tingle to it. Just a tiny bit, but it doesn't have that overpowering like mint flavor. It's really, really light, so it's actually not a bad flavor. It's just a weird furry feeling in your mouth. Non-internally, it is really good for wound healing. So you could take some of these leaves, you make a poultice. You could use white wine or water or witch hazel. You pick whatever liquid you want. Just add a teeny tiny bit, grind up the leaves, and place it on the wound. It will stop bleeding. It's been used for a long, long time as a poultice in wound healing and to stop bleeding. It's used by women for hemorrhoids and menstrual flow and during your birthing process. It's really great just to help soothe everything that's going on. It's like an afterbirth poultice that you could use. I don't know about using a poultice down there, but I imagine that's something, I mean, clearly it's something they've done in the past. Just dusting off these leaves. And it also reduces swelling. It's great for wounds from like bee stings. So like if you get a bee sting, you take some of this, chew it up, or grind it up, and put it on your bee sting. It'll help to take the swelling down. It is. Are you ready for this list? It's great. I'm not saying I get this information from like WebMD. I get it from not WebMD, JSTAR, which is a scientific journal collection. And so you find a bunch of really cool journals there. You can, without a membership, read 6 articles a month, which for most people, that's plenty. I rarely go over that, and then I'm sad. I'm like, oh, I gotta wait until... But it's great for looking up science journals on herbs because there's so much information out there and you can really look it up. So, like in my magical grimoire, the back of it is literally, I don't know if you can read that, just a list of the chemical compounds and the phytochemicals that are in each one of the plants. So it gives you I got a long list. Like calendula is huge. Look, it's so long. There's so many great phytochemicals. And so I can see exactly what's in each one of them to kind of see what they're good for and how to use them. I love science in my magic, so I really like resources like that. Anyways, so through my research, lamb's ear is great for it's an antibacterial, it's antiseptic, antipyretic, astringent, antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory. It's a sedative on your nervous system. It can be used to reduce swelling. They've used it as an eye wash. I never recommend using anything in your eyes. If you have a problem with your eyes, go see your doctor right away. Like, they are a very sensitive place, and for a long time, people have been not so... Oops. Look at that. I'm trying to be nice to the pincher bugs, okay? Get off my leaf, pincher bug. They are a beneficial bug in your garden because they eat aphids and spider mites and all of the things that you don't want in your garden. Growing up and being bitten by pincher bugs or earwigs, as they're also called, I really don't like them, but I'm trying to accept them for who they are and let them be in my garden. It's really hard, but that's okay. It's part of the beneficial gardening. You release the predator bugs, you encourage the predator bugs. They're just one that's not as friendly as others. So, anyways, it has been used in teas for colds, diarrhea, throat inflammation, gum infections, asthma, internal bleeding, varicose veins, and that I think you use topically. Like you use the infusion topically, and then to strengthen the liver and the heart. I mean, it really has a bunch of great benefits. I think like the poultices are the best. No joke, if you get a bee sting, I just come over here and crop some up. I do just chew it up. Pretty old-fashioned like that. And put it right on top. Oh, another pincher bug. There must be aphids in here. Get off of me. I don't want it to bite me. Where'd it go? Okay, we're embracing the pincher bugs, okay? Whew, that was scary. Anyways, Totally forgot what I was talking about. Anyways. Oh yeah, the bee stings. I bet it would work on a pincher bug bite too. If I got bit by a pincher bug, we could just throw some of this on there and it would be fine. The young leaves are so pretty. They just pick up the light. They're shiny. It really is an amazing plant to grow. The kids love it. It is nearly impossible to kill. It's not too keen on transplanting. So you want to make sure when you do transplant it that you water it really well so that it is happy in its transplant. Where did that pincher bug go? Yeah, see, the pincher bug, something's laying eggs in here. The pincher bug is in there eating them. We'll just knock these eggs off real quick. We don't want those in my inside. It's really important to get out and spend time in your garden and to look at what's going on. I'm going to go get 1,000 ladybugs this week. Apparently, we need more ladybugs. Ladybugs are another great aggressive eater in the garden, and they are fun to have. The kids love releasing them. It's always exciting. So, magically, lamb's ear is great for healing emotional wounds. It can be used as an incense, and also like we make an infused or a tincture out of it. So the tincture is great. You just dry the leaves like we talked about before. You pour vodka over it, let it sit for 6 weeks in a cool, dark place, and you will get an amazing tincture. Drain it, strain it. I would put it through a coffee filter or several layers of cheesecloth to make sure that you don't get plant parts. Yesterday we were going through our herbs and oils and whatnot and determining, we were doing a stock count, and I opened up one of the oils to check it, and it smelled like Parmesan cheese. I was like, oh no. And when we poured it out, there was some little leaves in it, some plant particles, and it must have been like the bottom of the jar or something when we poured it, and we just didn't notice that there were some leaves in there, because those leaves, look at thrips. That's what that pincher bug is eating. I don't know how well the camera does or if you can see that little tiny thrip. Go over there with that pincher bug. There are some great, there's a bunch on here. I can't take that inside. Dag nabbit. That gets to stay outside. So, thrips are tiny little bugs. I wouldn't think they would be on these. Normally you see them on thinner leafed plants. They eat the underside of the leaf and leave like little trails on your leaves. But the ladybugs will eat them. You can also, most greenhouses have beneficial bugs that you can order. So you can order them in the mail, which is great. And they'll send you thousands of little bugs. You just bring them and release them into your garden. And they help to restore healthy balance. All right. Check for thrips or any other pests, because you don't want to bring that stuff inside. And often the best solution is just manually removing them. It's really tedious. The Japanese beetles. Don't throw away. Japanese beetles that come every year that are beautiful, and they look like those Egyptian bugs. Scarabs. And they're so pretty. They are amazingly beautiful. I love looking at them, but they are devastating to your garden. And the best way to get rid of them is to come out with a pair of needle nose pliers and manually remove them. They are a noxious bug. They do not belong in this country. And they are destroying crops all over. So don't feel bad if you have to go out and kill some bugs, because sometimes that's just what you have to do. Another good option is to spray your plants with a little bit of soapy water. Just like a couple drops of Dawn dish soap in there, and give them a good spray. It makes it so that the bugs can't breathe and they all die or run away and go somewhere else because they don't want to be a part of that. And those are all great ways to get rid of bugs. See, these ones are just on those top plants, not on these bottom pieces, which is interesting. Anyways, so this is also used to repel evil and get rid of bad dreams, which is another reason we use it in our dream pillows, our soothing ones. And it is connected to the divine feminine. It is associated with moon and water. It can be used for purification. It has a bunch of just great all over properties. And like I said, it's really fun to grow. So that was it. Easy peasy. I didn't thin it out too much. I'm pulling out all these yucky leaves at the bottom, but now that there's picture bags, I'm scared to stick my hand in there. I'm not going to lie. So I think that's about it. I'll probably cut off a couple more, like right here. And we'll come in over here where it's a little thicker. Wow, this clump of dead leaves. All right, and then finally I'll just show you kind of where it is coming up in the back. Oh, a daddy long leg was on my foot. There he goes. Ah, I dropped the phone. Hopefully, did we lose you? No. Okay, see the daddy long leg? There he goes. Okay. Oh, my blueberries are turning blue. It's so exciting. Okay, so as you can see over here, I have a bunch of lambs here just coming up all over. And so it is a great spreader. I'm hoping it just fills in this whole space right here. My husband brought home some manholes. It's just funny. So I'm hoping it fills in this space. It's kind of like a toilet paper plant, like it has a similar feeling. So that's funny. I could totally use it like that. So that's it for the lamb's ear. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. And I hope everybody is enjoying their garden and getting out in some sun and really enjoying their summer solstice. It's the solstice. So happy solstice, everybody. And many blessings to you. My neighbor's garlic is coming through the fence. That's so fun. Anyways, I hope you all have a blessed Letha. We'll talk to you soon.